Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I truly appreciate you for coming through if you're brand new to the channel. But today we're going to be talking about the top 5 phones, cheap phones that you can purchase in 2021, 2022 and save a whole lot of money, and you don't have to you don't have to break the bank or anything like that, or your budget. But these devices are going to be pretty much under $150 right now. So let's just start off with the first one. Alright, so the first one is the Samsung Galaxy A03s, and this guy is going to be really nice. And it's going to be sporting a 6.5 inch display, which is going to be really nice. Also, it comes in this like matte finish on the back, which is cool. The camera on the back of this thing is actually really cool because it's going to be really embedded in the phone. There's not going to be really any it's not going to come up from the back. It's going to be really solid. It's not going to rock on a table. Very minimal rockage on here as well. We also do get the P35 Helio processing chip right now for MediaTek, 3 GB of RAM coupled with 32 GB of internal storage, 5,000 mAh battery as well. But it's going to feature the 13 megapixel around back and also a depth sensor as well. So you do get the triple camera setup on this guy. It's got a macro and it's got a 2 megapixel for depth as well. So the standard 13 and then the 5 on the front. Also, but we do have a side-mounted fingerprint sensor, which is actually pretty cool. A decent display. It's on 720 by 1600, 270 for the PPI. Do drop notch on here. For the most part, photos do come out pretty sharp, pretty colorful, pretty vivid. It's not going to be the best quality in the nighttime or anything like that, but overall brightness is good. Viewing angles aren't the best in the world, but you will get some pretty decent shots on here, like I said, on the front and on the rear. So just depending on where you are, you will be getting some pretty decent shots on this guy. Nice haptic feedbacks on here. And we also do get Android 11 as well on this guy. So pretty good cameras, really good battery life, and really good price for this guy. Also, it's going to be rocking Android 11, which I think is pretty cool, and has fingerprint sensor. So this is a really solid device. Also, it does have that dewdrop notch at the top, like I stated. So it's really going to be solid as well. And overall, this is a really good pickup for a budget device in 2022 and right now in 2021. So for light gaming, this will be pretty cool. It'll be really solid. You'll be able to definitely get some gaming on here. It's going to have some decent speakers, mono speakers, not stereo, but overall the phone will be able to handle some light gaming. You will be able to do some, just to pass some time, right? Nothing crazy where you're doing hardcore competition gaming or anything of that nature. But like I said before, just really solid when it comes to just, basic gaming and stuff like that. So definitely a really solid device. Now the next device is the UMIDIGI A9, which is pretty cool. It comes in this clear case as well in the bundle, so I just want to wipe that off. But the clear case is pretty cool. It does attract stains to it, but not too much fingerprints or anything of that nature. And on board, we're gonna have a 6.53 inch display, as well as a 5,150 milliamp hour battery on this guy. You can see the texture on here. We do have a fingerprint sensor on the back. We do have facial recognition as well. So it's going to be pretty responsive when it comes to opening it up. It's going to be really snappy as well. Facial ID, like I mentioned, is going to be on board as an option to unlock this device. But overall, this is going to be one of my favorite devices for this price because it's got the thermometer where you can measure people's temperatures and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. It has that button that you can click, and when you double tap it, it also does something else. So it gives you a variety of features. You get the Zello app on here, but you can also remap that button as well. So I thought that was pretty cool. 13 megapixel around back for taking photos, and we do get 64 gigabytes of internal storage on here. 8 megapixel for the wide angle, 2 megapixel for the portrait, 8 around front. And I like the fact that it does have that wide angle camera on here. Photos do come out really nice. This guy does also have a headphone jack Type-C for charging as well. So the design is going to be really nice. The camera is also plush in the back of the phone too, so that's something that's pretty cool. But that thermometer is going to be something that's very different from a lot of devices we've seen thus ever. So I thought that's pretty cool that it does have that thermometer around back. It also does have a gyroscope for gaming, and it's not going to have NFC, but it does have pretty decent speeds for charging. It's going to be charging at 10 watts, so not the fastest in the entire world. Headphone jack, like I said before, up top. Decent cameras as well, but this guy is going to also go well with for the price. You're going to be able to do some pretty decent gaming, and you could get the option for macro. So if you wanted to do the wide angle, you could do that as well. You also do get extras like night mode as well on here. So pretty cool that they do offer a variety of features with this guy. They also do have some pretty decent video on this thing, but not nothing that would be too crazy, right? But they do offer the wide angle on here. They do also the portrait mode on here. No macro on here, just the portrait and the portrait mode and the wide angle mode on here. So I definitely like those features that you can do bokeh. You can kind of change up the amount of bokeh that you want on this guy as well. It has really good performance. As far as the performance, it's a G25. When it comes to the speeds, it's going to be pretty decent. You can download Asphalt 9, you can play Call of Duty Mobile, you can play pretty much all your normal games on this thing. So it's going to run pretty nice. It's got the large battery as well, which I really do like, and it also does have a pretty decent processing chip and the latest Android software on here. So if you wanted to do some light gaming on here, you could do that. It's going to actually perform pretty decent. Nothing too crazy that's going to win your heart over or anything like that, but it will have some adequate performance when you're trying to use it for light gaming. If you play Call of Duty Mobile, it'll be decent as well. If you play PUBG, it'll also be pretty decent. So it will keep up pretty well overall. So I do like this phone for a budget device. Now another budget device that should be on sale now under $150 is the CUBOT X30, and this device has been released for about a year, but it's got the solid cameras on the back with the I believe it's the 48 megapixel around back, 32 megapixel around front, 1080 for the video. It's also going to be really solid for the price point. We are getting that fingerprint sensor to unlock on here as well. You also get the power button around the side right here, punch hole notch at the top, which is really nice for the aesthetics, Type-C, and single firing speaker on the bottom with a microphone, and you get expansion of your storage on here as well. So I just really think this is a nice phone as well for the price, and it's probably going to be on sale. It does get a lot of fingerprints, but they do provide a case that helps you manage that. So it's definitely going to be a really good size in the hand, 6.4 inches. It's also going to have the Helio P60 of Samsung 48 megapixel camera along with it. There is an X50 that's out, that's more recent, but it will probably be a little about $50 more than this one. But $309 for the PPI, $398 for the PPI on this guy, and it's going to be a full HD display at 1080 by 2310. LCD IPS display is on here, so just really nice overall performance with 6 gigabytes or 8 depending on which model you choose from, but it will be able to run pretty quickly, and it has a lot of cool games that you can use on here. They all run really smoothly with the MediaTek Helio P60 on here, so it's a really good chip that was optimized well with that processing chip. With the P60, it definitely was optimized well, and it does have the pretty decent speeds on here, 6 gigabytes or 8 depending on which model, 128 gigabytes for internal storage for the memory storage that you get, and you can expand upon that as well. 32 megapixel on the front of this guy, which is really solid as well. Now, some of the things that I do like about this device is that it does take night photo. It also does have really good processing speeds on here, like I mentioned before. It also does have a really beautiful display. And the only thing is that the charging is kind of slow on this thing, and just to be mindful of that. But other than that, there's not really too many flaws about this thing, so I just want to let you know. Gaming on here is really good. It's not going to get too many crazy updates to Android 11 or Android 12 because it's on Android 10 right now, but it's got a lot of storage. It's got really good cameras and processing power as well, so the battery is pretty decent. It's not too crazy or anything of that nature, but you can, you can game on here pretty well, and it's going to be pretty decent. For the most part, you can actually get some really good performance while using this thing. So I just want to make you guys aware that it will be pretty decent performance on here. So I just want to let you guys know. So I did actually like enjoy gaming on here. So it was pretty smooth for the most part. The screen looks plenty bright. You can cover up the speaker very easy because it doesn't have dual speakers, so I just want you to be mindful of that. But overall, the performance on here was really solid. Now, another device that would be a really good pickup that's really solid right now is the Moto G Pure, and this device comes in at about $150 or something like that, and it has a pretty decent build to it. It's got 2 microphones. It's got 3 cameras, 3 gigabytes of RAM, 32 gigabytes of internal storage. Wish it kind of had 64, but it has a gravity sensor, accelerometer, light sensor, proximity sensor, facial recognition, and a fingerprint on round back. As far as this display, it's 720 by 1600, so it's got some pretty decent processing speeds on here when it comes to using it. You can game on here. You can run Call of Duty. You could run PUBG as well. It has like a gaming mode as well, so you can get access to that through this game time feature right here, where we'll block notifications, block calls, and do a screen recorder and have side access to the gaming mode. So it's definitely pretty cool. It does have some pretty decent performance, nice design to it with that, like, it's not glossy, but it's got like this matte finish with kind of like a smooth vinyl texture to it. So really solid when it comes to this overall aesthetics of this device. It just looks pretty cool. The only reason it chipped right here is because I had it on a tripod on a bike, and it was hitting the bike handle, and I didn't know that. But so far it's pretty sturdy, pretty decent speeds on this guy as well. So it does have the latest Android 11. Android 12 is launching out for a lot of phones right now. 4,000 milliamp hour battery, so it'll last about a day and a half or something. 10 watts for the charging as well. The only thing is not to expect too much when it comes to the graphics on this one, because it's only going to give you that, right here, medium frame rate as well as smooth. So it's going to be it's not going to be too crazy, honestly. It's got the IMG Power VR GE8320 coupled with the G25 from MediaTek as well. So like I said, nothing real crazy when it comes to the processing on here. It's going to be able to play, PUBG and stuff like that. It's going to be able to run it with no problems whatsoever. You will be able to get first blood and everything of that nature. So, for some reason it feels optimized, well optimized on PUBG. For some reason it just feels really optimized on PUBG. So you can see right there I was able to get first blood and everything like that. So it just felt really smooth when gaming on here. So that's something that I do like about this thing. So I did actually pull off 3 kills, which was pretty good. The next device you could pick up is the Alcatel C21. It's going to have the Helio P60 on here, which is going to be really solid, 6.4-inch display. It's going to have a really nice panel with really good viewing angles on here. So I definitely like this panel because it's going to look really good. It also comes with a clear case as well on here. So just a really solid phone to use for the price. We also do have a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, fingerprint sensor on the back of the camera region right there, which looks pretty unique, really different. Kind of looks like the S20 Ultra from 2020 or whatever. But we got a gravity sensor on here, accelerometer, proximity sensor, fingerprint sensor, as well as a 16 megapixel, 2 megapixel for portraits, macro lens, and standard 2 megapixel, 20 megapixel around front. So it's going to be pretty decent when it comes to this phone, because it's going to have 20 megapixel around front and everything like that. But the display on here looks really good. You can see the punch hole on this guy looks really solid. We don't have a headphone jack, so I just want to throw that out there, but we do get a Type-C for charging. We also do get stereo speaker on the bottom, but not one at the top. Call qualities, everything comes in clear. And when I was using this guy, I didn't have any issues whatsoever when I was using this, and it will have 18 watts fast charging, full HD display with mid-range hardware. For the price, it's going to be really solid. You know, the display, the design, the operations are really fast on here, so that's something I did want to throw out there. But really solid device with a really good battery as well, and the cameras are actually pretty decent on this guy too. But these are my top 5 budget phones right now, under $150 that you can pick up. But let me know what you guys think, and leave a comment down below and show your support and appreciation, as well as subscribe and get notified for more videos just like this. And if you're already part of the crew, salute.